I had been a Cub Scout for 4 years, and today was a very special day. Me and some other scouts were going to be promoted to Boy Scouts. To celebrate, we were going on a joint camping trip with some older scouts, as a commemoration to our advancement. We set up camp in a very nasty swamp, but I didn't mind. The only sort of electronics we could bring was a DVD player for downtime. As movie selections were being presented, I avidly and immediately petitioned for Shrek. No one saw any issues with this, so the movie was played. But every time Shrek roared, or asserted himself in a dominant manner, my desire and libido rose ever higher, craving Shrek to claim me all ogre. A scout turned himself around and noticed me. "Look, this kid pitched a tent for Shrek." The others pointed and laughed. I was terribly embarrassed and tried to hide my love for Shrek, both physically and mentally. At night, as I dreamt sweet dreams of Shrek, I was suddenly awoken as I was gagged by cloth and was forcibly lifted from my sleeping bag. My muffled screams proved of no use as I was taken away from the campsite. I was thrown down in front of a tree and ungagged. The older scouts shined flashlights in my face. "What's wrong, kid?" started one. "Interrupt your wet dream?" I was so afraid I couldn't speak. I was so scared I had peed all over my Shrek pajamas. The other scout started up again. "Oh, what's wrong? Have an accident?" The campers all howled with amusement. Suddenly, something hit one of the campers in the back of the head. Everyone was surprised to see that it was an onion. The now confused scouts turned their flashlights towards the now dark and frightening swamp. "What's that?" a scout says, and we all look. A figure was moving between the trees. It seemed to lunge for a moment, and another onion was sent towards us. This onion was far faster than the other, and flew clean through a camper's forehead, leaving brains and a lifeless body on the ground. The figure bellowed laughter all throughout the swamp and disappeared. "What are you?" the head camper yelled out. The branches above us cracked, and the figure crashed down in the middle of our circle. It replied, "One of a kind," and clapped his hands on the boy's skull, flattening it like a pancake. It was Shrek. He was completely naked, fully erect, and ready. Without missing a beat, Shrek took his cock in both of his hands and sent it upwards at a kid's chin. That slimy bastard was sent flying into the air and was impaled through the neck by a stray branch. 2 other campers tried to run away, but Shrek had an onion ring. Both of them were decapitated before they even ran. Shrek turned towards me as he approached. The last camper stabbed Shrek with a pocket knife. He let out a terrible roar, but then he turned and grinned. "Liars," I said from my spot. The scout tried pleading for his life, but Shrek grappled him from behind. He said softly in his ear, "2 things. Shut up." He penetrated his anus with such force he immediately went into shock. Once Shrek had finished, he tossed the body aside. He untied me from my bonds and caressed my face. He leaned into my ear and spoke, "Are you ready to become an ogre scout, laddie?" I looked him in the eye, overjoyed, and then lunged at his green, lean penis. My mouth was torn open by the sheer girth of Shrek's dick, but I did this for him. I had nearly suffocated when he pried me away and put me on my hands and knees. With his now spit-lubricated cock, he slid into my pale-ass cheeks. My eyes rolled into the back of my head as pure euphoria coursed through my body. Shrek then let loose a torrent of musky ogre jizz inside of my boy pussy. I was almost too weak to stand, but Shrek helped me up. He gave me a pin for my scout satchel, an onion with Shrek's ears. He winked at me and disappeared back into the swamp. Shrek is love. Shrek is life.